Behold, the great Unloved, the Boss PW-2 power driver. So, there's a little look into this. This thing has a real bad reputation, which hopefully going to dispel and let you see that this thing's actually got a lot to offer. So a bit of history first. This was released in 1996, I believe, and it didn't do very well. In fact, it is Boss's worst ever selling pedal, and as such it was discontinued, I think only 11 months after it began production, and it sold so badly that you could actually buy brand new in box items for 10 years after they finished production, because they sold that badly. So has a really bad reputation, but you know what, this thing, he's not a bad guy. He's the victim in all of this. What's he a victim of? Firstly, terrible marketing. So the power driver was released with the intent of cashing in on the grunge market, which was a massive mistake for a number of reasons. Firstly, 1996, grunge was on its arse and on its way out. You know, it didn't take long really before that scene died a death. You know, your post Kurt Cobain's death, Soundgarden put out their last album that year, they fell apart. All the bands were kind of unravelling, and so it was late to the party. Secondly, the really ridiculous thing was that with the DS1, which was used by, among others, Mr. Kurt Cobain, Boss had kind of already defined the sound of grunge, so to then try and imitate themselves by putting out a new cash-in pedal was just a bit weird. So really bad marketing decisions there. The thing that most people seem to attribute its failure to, which is a bit of a strange thing, but I guess for the time maybe it was unusual, whereas now you get all kinds of crazy names on knobs. But the bass and mids control on this are labelled as fat and muscle. And at the time, I think this was just seen to be too gimmicky and didn't take. But I mean, like I said, now you see all kinds of crazy names on controls on pedals. So, I mean, maybe it's just ahead of its time. A real big mistake, though, I think, is in the name. So power driver, this kind of suggests that this will be an overdrive. I kind of imagine it as if a, you know, this is from the name, not from what the pedal sounds like at all, but from the name, power driver. I kind of imagine a DS1 with a blues driver whacked into it and that kind of thing. No, definitely not. Overdrive kind of suggests niceness, you know, overdrive, lovely bit of break up on your tone, this lovely sort of singing solo tone. Nice. There's nothing nice about this. This is not for those who want a nice sort, you know, Klon style clean boost overdrive. There's nothing transparent about it. Yeah, if you're looking for that big buzzword transparent overdrive, don't come to this. This is dirty, gritty, nasty. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are whole genres of music based on that sound. And so really this video is hopefully just to, you know, point out what it actually sounds like, so that, you know, if you are into those styles of music that require a really quite nasty tone, you can decide whether this thing might fit the bill for you. So without further ado, I'm going to plug it in, play it, let you hear some sounds. You know, there's only 4 controls, 2 of which I've already identified, bass and mids, and the other is level and drive. So it's not a complicated piece of kit. It's just got a bit of a complicated history. So bear with me while I plug it in. Okay, so I'll let you hear my clean tone first. Okay, that's the clean tone. Right, on the power driver, I've got everything set at noon. So we're just going to turn it on and see what we get. So that's everything with noon. That's with everything at noon, sorry. So already, you know, it's got quite a hard driving. There's a good bit of bottom end there, but at the same time, there's a bit of a trebly crackle. I think this thing is more akin to a fuzz pedal than an overdrive or a distortion, but obviously that'll be down to you to make your mind up about that. So gonna have a little bit of tweak with it. So back off the bass maybe to about 9 o'clock, up the mids to 3 o'clock. I mean, it's quite a versatile little EQ section that it gives you that, you know, plenty of overdrives, distortions, they'll just give you that one tone control. So the fact this gives you two control, you know, you get that bit more tone shaping options. So I've backed off the bass, up the mids. I've got the drive at noon. I might just back the drive off a bit and just see if it cleans up at all. It doesn't really clean up. Like I said, there's not really anything nice in this pedal. You know, it's a big chunky gain pedal. Right, so we've established it doesn't really clean up, but then it's a distortion pedal. Do you want it to? I'll try backing off the volume on the guitar. So I suppose it does lessen the gain somewhat, but what still comes through, you know, is not, if you like, nice. There's just nothing nice about it. You know, I've chucked compressors in front of this. I've chucked the Xander circuitry surplus in front of this, which, I mean, that makes everything sound better, but this thing, it doesn't sound nice. It's not meant to. It's not meant for niceness. It's meant for dirt. Proper, real, raging dirt sounds. So, without further ado, I'm just going to dime the gain and see what we get. So that's with the dime gain. Like I said, to me it responds far more like a fuzz pedal. That the bassiness of it is that same response you get from really cool fuzz pedals, and then that really crackly kind of upper frequency, again far more like a fuzz pedal than any kind of overdrive I've ever played. The more I play it, the more I'm kind of convinced that B-tronics, whenever they make anything, they go to this and then rip it off, because that top end crackle that their pedals have just sounds exactly like this. I'm sure, feel free to shoot me down, but you know, to me that's what it sounds That's where B-tronics got the idea. Anyway, I don't know that there's that much else to say about the power driver. You know, it's pretty uncomplicated. It's a Boss distortion. Got a real bad rep, but you know, if you want some high gain, kind of bit different from your average sounding distortion box, I think it's really cool. And I haven't tried plugging a bass into it, excuse me, but I imagine that probably sounds quite good too. And with that, I've knocked my strings out of tune, so I'll leave you there. But there you go. If you think the reputation this pedal is deserved, fair enough. If not, come check it out. It's cheap, it's not going to break the bank. Anyway, see you later.